Welcome everybody to the third episode of our little Factory Town, probably mini Let's Play. I think we'll call it that. We've just finished basic logistics, so we can now start planning conveyor belts, which are an interesting one. A lot to do with those. We want to just get started on learning the intermediate logistics, as we do want the splitter tool from it, probably the pusher as well, maybe. Not 100% sure on whether we'll need that or not, but we want it for over here. So first up, conveyors themselves. So we need a workshop, wherever that's gone. There it is. And that is going to, actually let's put the barn down. It's going to store it all first because that goes at the very end. Don't need it for anything else. Okay, so we need a workshop. Yeah, I like to keep a 3 gap in between. And that workshop is going to need to make wooden wheels. It's going to need to make cloth. And then the conveyor itself. And we're going to need to feed into it stone brick, cotton, and planks. Look what we've got readily available to us here. So we're going to want a lumber mill. Let's try and decide how close we want everything together. But let's go with that one last. Farm's got a requisite placement. You're going to supply water, which we're going to need to give it, and cotton. And we want to put a few farm tiles down to begin with. And we want a stonemason. In fact, let's just flatten that land a little bit first. Just here. Like that. Then we can put the stonemason here to make stone brick. And then we can put workers to shoot the stuff into that nicely. And we can shoot out of here. Like that. I think that just picked up an extra one. Yep, get rid of that. Don't need the cotton there. Right, and you're going to take that down there. A very, very temporary road. And finally, our lumber mill, which we're going to put there. You're going to make planks. You take the planks to there. And then you start gathering and placing it there. Why? Sometimes it gets a bit fussy when they're right next to the things, but that'll do. And then, final step, take the conveyor and put it in the barn. So everything will now start to get gathered up. Slowest process, unfortunately, is the wheels. So it requires 2 to 1. Could have like another lumber mill processing up, but it works fine. It'll just be a little bit slow to start with until we, there we go, until we start getting the conveyor belts, and then we can make our life a little bit easier. So step 1, we need to actually have a well down, which includes a logistic block to pull from the well onto the conveyor belt. So that's pulling the water out of the well onto the conveyor belt and into the farm. Otherwise we'd need a person to do all of that. And, well, we don't need this guy delivering planks anymore. Immediately replaced by another conveyor belt with a grabber pulling the planks out. Just making life a whole lot easier. And similarly, we're not going to need him delivering those because we can conveyor belt. Now here we're going to pause the game because we don't want everything being pulled out of here. We only want the cloth conveyor belt to be pulled out. We want to keep cloth and wheels, should they be produced in large quantities, in the workshop for use. We'll get started on cloth in other locations, but that will suffice for what we want to do there. Similarly, we can start pulling, we could get rid of his job, bring stone brick down to here, but at the moment that's perfectly fine, and we don't need to replace the chute because it keeps up perfectly. As I say, the wood is the issue, and that will be remedied by using forestry later on, but for now that does the job. So this base is now completely full of wood and planks, which is good. That creates surplus there, and the barn is full of stone and stone bricks. However, we're going to upgrade the barn. Upgrading the barn doubles the storage, because having 100 of each is fine, but some of the things require quite a bit, so it's better to have a bit of a backlog stored up. Right, next part, this. We want to get rid of basically all of this. Now we've got conveyors and grabbers, we can do a lot better. Will actually be easier with a farm. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to disable the shirt, and we're going to do away with him. So this will create cloth. We want you to take cloth and put it into there for now. Just because we want to upgrade the base, we need 10 cloth, and this is just an easier way than setting up a whole different system for it, because we can reintroduce the other parts in very shortly. There we go, and that unlocks the kitchen and gourmet foods and lets us research metallurgy. So what we now want to do is re-enable shirts. Put that back in there, please. Now just take shirts over to there and just clear that out. And you take fabric. The general store. And we carry on making our red coins that way. Yeah, we're a little way off those parts. How many conveyors have we got? 17. Doing well. Building up. Right, so gourmet foods requires iron plates. Okay, that's new. Kitchen, not so much. There is coal though as well. It's only a little bit, but that's right. 800 odd coal. Right. Okay, so we're gonna basically just completely demolish our yellow coin production for a second, but that's okay. Right, we'll just have him deliver 2 more just so the grain mill finishes its process. 1 more, and then we're going to scrap this business. A good point. Where are these extra planks go? Oh yeah, because it's now got 500. I was like, where's that extra stuff going to? But yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's get rid of that. Get rid of all of that. Okay, so first up, we're going to want a barn to go in between. Literally only needs to be 1 tile away. More looks better in my opinion, but 1 is fine. What we're going to do is we're going to filter it to have certain food items. First one we want will be grains. Good question. Where are you? Because the other ones were down there, but it didn't look like there was. So meats, fruit, beef specifically, fruit, vegetables, grains. There we go. So first item grains, second object vegetables, third object fruit, and fourth object meats. I think. In fact, no, not meats. Meats are real awkward. Fish, however, are not. There we go. So our first belt there, I'm going to put a grabber block on it and tell it that that's going to pull out grains. We're then going to put some scaffolding on the top and a scaffold block. And while it looks like it's going into thin air, it does work. And you're going to be the vegetables. Just reorient the camera and do the same on the other side with fruit. And finally with the fish. Now what we will do is we will want to make sure that there's bits going in between things now. So the next part is to put our grain mill back down, but this time it's going to be closer in. We're going to remove these potatoes because we're going to want a nice straight run from 2 sources. So first source will be the grain mill, which we're going to have here on flour, and then the next one will be the farm behind it Okay, I could have kept some of the places, but it's fine. So I was thinking about having a kitchen, but the kitchen needing or the gourmet foods place requiring metal slows that down, so let's do those. Now again, we want to put our conveyors down with grabbers. And that way the grabber pulls out only the relevant pieces, so this is only going to pull out vegetables, and this one is only going to pull out grains, and what we're going to just let that tick along a second. Now the other thing is fruits. We don't currently have fruits active. Oh yeah, let's put that on there. So what we want to do is just put those down, and berries. So the other thing you will do is harvest berries. Now currently that can't be taken out anywhere. That'll look quite nice, and let's go with the arch rather than a full scaffold on those ones. That's the other thing, making this look pretty as well. What good is a town if it doesn't look good? There we go, and then just pause that for a second while we get our grabber out and tell it that that is going to be fruit. And there we go. There's 3 different resources coming out of one farm, one going into an intermediate step at the grain mill, and then the others going to the barn to then be taken into the food market. Still need to get the fish into it, but the fish isn't actually around here, unfortunately. It's quite a distance over here, so we'll need to work on bringing it over for that, but I actually hold out more hope that there's some in that segment, but that's not a right now kind of a job. We want to put some more houses down, but for that we're going to want to harvest some more of this. In fact, if we put that there and put that there like that, so I can have him get out of the way. Can do that and that. It just speeds up the gathering all that bit. Lovely. Okay, I think we're coming to the end of an episode here. I think that's probably enough for a play session for me for now as well. That's all been done in one go. We'll come back next time, finish up our intermediate logistics, and then start researching probably forestry and get forestry and metallurgy done so that we can build on the next step. We need to start looking at how we make fabric in such a way as to be useful. Delete the extra bits of resources we've got there because we don't need them. Yeah, I think I'm happy with both the progress there. So come back next time to see how we start getting ourselves even more red coins and some of the other resources. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.